Intersex and transgender. Some people confuse these two as one and the same thing, but they are actually quite different. There are some similarities, which we're going to discuss in today's video, but overall, they are definitely different. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel, and I am a coach to help you live your best life, to come to terms with who you truly are, and be the best version of yourself. In today's video, we're going to talk about transgender and intersex, how these people are different, and what are some common things that they end up sharing. So enjoy the video. Intersex and transgender are two different things, but people still confuse the two and think they are the same. They are different, but the challenges one who is intersex or transgender has to undergo are often similar. Intersex, also known as hermaphrodite, is someone that is born with a combination of both male and female chromosome and or genitals. These chromosome and genitals fall out of line with what is considered a binary male and female, and thus are labeled intersex. They are often not fully formed genitals, and one set is often more developed than the other. Many times people who are intersex undergo surgeries when they are a baby to correct what is deemed a mistake, while the child then grows up to be male or female. The problem is, the correction surgery may have fixed the issue with the appearance of the genitals. It didn't fix the gender of the brain. There are many intersex people who have undergone surgery to make them more of a biological male or biological female, then conditioned by parents to be male or female, only to grow up and feel like the opposite sex. This happens because the surgery went in the opposite favor of what the person identifies as. For instance, someone who was born intersex with an underdeveloped male genital may undergo surgery to correct that and make them more female. Then, they are conditioned by family growing up to live as a female. The problem is, when they get older, they may actually have been a male, and thus went through a surgery in life that wasn't what they actually were. They may be kept in the dark and not know until they are older that they are intersex. Some intersex people, even at the time of birth, show no signs of being intersex, and only until puberty do signs start to show. Once the intersex person realizes what happened, and they are living as the wrong sex, they sometimes will make a transition to the opposite sex. This is where there are similarities between intersex and transgender. A transgender person, more specifically a transsexual, is someone who was biologically born a male or female and transitions to the opposite sex due to gender dysphoria. For instance, someone who is born a biological male with completely male parts and upbringing will become dysphoric about anything that they define as masculine on their body, especially their genitals, facial structure and hair, voice, etc. They then begin the process of transitioning using hormones and surgery to look more like the opposite sex and live full-time as the sex they identify as. No amount of surgeries can make them biologically the sex they identify as, but it does help reveal dysphoria. But for some, the dysphoria can be so extreme that it can still remain after transitioning and surgeries. So an intersex person is someone that was born with both female and male gonads or chromosomes that are not quite male and not quite female, and there can be some androgynous characteristics between the two, and a variety of other factors that can come into play. Now, because these people were born like that, it can be quite difficult to discern if they were a male or a female when they were born, because if they're born with both types of gonads, then a parent has to make that decision, and sometimes it's a wrong decision, and it's not necessarily the parent's right to make that decision on behalf of their child, who may end up growing up and not being that sex that the parent chose for them. Transgender, on the other hand, is when someone was born biologically as a male or a female and then transitions to the opposite sex. So for example, I am a transgender woman and I was born as a male. So I was born biologically a male, and I have transitioned to a female to present as a female to other people. Now, biologically, I can never change my chromosomes. I cannot change some of these sex characteristics that will always make me a male. I have faced the fact, and every transgender person has to face the fact that they will always be biologically what they were born as. But regardless, you transition, you step out of your comfort zone, you come out to people and you transition to be who you truly are and be happy, and you accept the flaws about you. So that is a very difficult task, but there is some commonality between intersex and transgender. Hopefully you're seeing that. The difference between intersex and transgender has to do with how someone was born. An intersex person is not a binary male or female and is often born with a combination of both sexes' genitals or chromosomes, while transsexual is a binary male or female that experiences gender dysphoria and transition to the opposite sex. An intersex person can transition as well, much the same as a transgender person does. We are all vastly different, and everyone will make up their own mind as to what to do with their bodies. Just because someone is different from you and you may not understand them, accept them for who they are and respect their decision. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So as an intersex person ages, they may realize, wait, I'm not actually a female. I'm not actually a male. I feel like the opposite. Am I transgender? And maybe it was kept from them that they were intersex. So if that is the case, then they essentially do a similar type of transition as a transgender person would. Not necessarily everyone would do that, and it will be different. Different steps involved different things here and there. But that transition process can actually be very similar, because if someone was born intersex, male and female at the same time, but they were brought up to live as a female, but that's not what their dominant sex is. Biologically, that is not their dominant sex and chromosomes. Instead, it is male. So they're grown up as a female, and then they realize this is not who I am. I have to be a male. That is what I identify as. So they have to transition, so to speak, to become a male, and that can involve the same sort of things that transgender people deal with, which could be hormones, which may be some sort of surgery. So there are some commonality there, but they are two separate things. Intersex being something you are essentially born with, that it is a combination of multiple chromosomes or gonads of both male and female sex. Transgender, it is also very much something that you were kind of born with, but it is limited to just your brain. That you are male or female brain, essentially, inside of a male and female body that is incongruent with what you truly identify as. So, a male body but a female brain, or a male brain in a female body. But it's limited to just that. There are not differences in chromosomes or any sort of, differences with the gonads or anything. But I mean, there could be some minor things here and there, but that could be still on the realm of being intersex if that were to be the case. So hopefully that cleared up some of the differences between these two, because I know this can be a very confusing topic for many people. Be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you'll find something very neat and helpful there. Also, become a member to get early access to new content before anyone else. If you become a member, you can get early access months before anyone else can actually see it. So, you all take care, have a great one, and I will catch you all later. Let me know your thoughts on this subject, and I'm really curious to hear what your experiences is. You take care, bye-bye.